Hey guys, so today's video I'm going to be doing a full face of drugstore products. There's going to be a mix of some of my favorites and some new drugstore products that I haven't tried yet but have been wanting to. I don't know if I've ever done a full face of drugstore makeup on my channel, which is really strange because I enjoy watching them and I have a lot of requests from you guys for like drugstore recommendations, affordable makeup, all of that stuff. So yeah, I thought I would sit down today and do just a full face of drugstore affordable makeup. Some of it is going to be makeup that I already know and love, so I'm going to be sharing with you some of my drugstore favorites, but then I'm also going to be testing out some new drugstore products as well. Well, they're new to me, maybe new to the shelves as well, I'm not too sure, but anyways, it's going to be a little bit of a mix. So if you would like to join me in talking some smack and applying a full face of drugstore makeup, then just keep watching. Oakley dokley. So a lot of these products are actually going to be from Maybelline. I think I'd have to say Maybelline is hands down my favorite all-round drugstore brand. Do you know what, actually? I feel like recently a lot of drugstore brands have kind of stepped up their game with the cosmetic industry because it is a really competitive industry these days, and I think drugstore brands maybe like 4 or 5 years ago could get by just being like the cheaper alternative, whereas now there's so much competition in that cheaper affordable bracket of makeup. I feel like they're actually having to like really step up their game and improve the quality of their products and the shade ranges and the product range and all of that. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say what my favorite drugstore brand is at the moment, but I definitely think Maybelline is up there with one of my favorites for sure. Like their product range is insanely good and they've got some really good products that I'm going to show you guys in this video. So the first one that I am going to go in with is the Master Prime Hydrating Primer. I've used this a bunch of times and I absolutely love it underneath matte foundations, and I'm going to be using a matte foundation today. Sometimes my skin can get really dry. Today it's not too bad. I feel like recently it's gotten a bit better. Maybe it's to do with the fact that it's not as cold anymore. But anyways, I still really like to use a hydrating primer underneath matte foundations because normally matte foundations are on the drier side as well. So I find if you just use a hydrating primer underneath, it kind of stops any dryness or any cakiness or anything like that from the foundation. Alrighty, now for foundation, I am going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is the shade 122. I love this foundation. Love it. I actually did a full like wear test first impression review video on this foundation like years ago when I first started my YouTube channel, and it's been one of my favorite drugstore foundations since then. And just a little fun fact, I actually really like mixing the matte and the dewy and smooth Fit Me foundation. Today I'm just using the matte one, but when you mix both the dewy and smooth and the matte together, you get a really nice finish. So if you ever feel like experimenting a little bit and you own both of those foundations, I'd definitely try it out because you'll be surprised at how good the finish is. But today we're going for a matte vibe. So Maybelline have actually just extended the shade range of this foundation, which is really cool. They now have 40 shades in this range, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure it's the first drugstore brand to ever do 40 shades of foundation. This is what I mean by drugstore brands really stepping up their game. Do you know what I mean? Like Fenty brought out their like first ever release was their foundation, and there was so much hype because it came out with 40 foundation shades, and I feel like they've really set the bar now. So even drugstore brands are having to step up the game and also release a shade range like that because that's what people are expecting now. And I think it's really cool that Maybelline have actually gone and done that with one of their like cult bestseller products, which is the Fit Me foundation. So props to you for that, Maybelline. I think that is really cool. Do you know what though? The only thing I do not like is the fact that this foundation still does not come with a pump. It is so hard to get the product out and it's so messy, and I find that I waste a lot of product because of it. I really hate it when foundations don't come with pumps. Okay, so for concealer, I'm going in with the Instant Age Rewind Dark Circles Eraser. This is the shade Light Pale. This one is brand new because I've actually just run out of my old one. So this is a repurchase for me. I love this concealer, but again, I'm not a huge fan of the packaging. Like I wish it didn't have this sponge applicator, I just kind of feel like it's not very hygienic, but the actual formula of the concealer is amazing. And it just brightens the under eyes so well. I'm also just going to take a little bit of that in the center of my face. So down my nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin, just to kind of highlight the T-zone area. Alrighty, now it is time to set my face. So I'm going in with the Maybelline Master Fix Baking and Brightening Loose Powder. This is really great under the eyes to obviously brighten and bake, just like the name suggests. I am not going to use a whole lot of powder just because this is already going to be a very matte look and I don't want it to be super cakey. So I'm just going to pick up a small-ish, doesn't look that small, but I swear that's only a small amount, on my beauty blender and just pat it in under my eyes. Like, I'm not really baking, I'm just kind of setting. Alrighty, now to set the rest of my face, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. This is the shade 120. I know I used 122 in the foundation. It's not that different and I don't have like the matching shades, so I haven't actually used this before, so I'm excited to try it out. I don't really know how to like review powders like this, like right there and then on the spot, because I feel like it's something that you kind of have to just like wear test. What is going on up here? Did I smudge my foundation? I did. Yeah, I feel like it's something you have to kind of put to the test by wearing it over a period of time, and especially because the foundation that I'm wearing is already very matte, it is a little bit hard to tell. Although that has really made my base look extra flawless. Wow. I haven't had a look up close yet, but from afar, it actually looks really good. Oh my gosh. That looks really good. I feel like it's added a little bit more coverage to my skin, but my skin looks really soft. Like, it doesn't look cakey or dry, or like for a matte foundation and a matte finish, I feel like my skin looks really soft. That's cool. I think so far I really like that powder. Alrighty, and now for bronzer, I'm going in with the Back to Bronze bronzer from L'Oreal. This is my favorite drugstore bronzer. They actually released this a few months ago, so it is relatively new, but if you haven't tried it yet, I definitely recommend it. I love it. I feel like it just creates the most natural kind of shadow on my face. Like, you can't tell that I'm wearing bronzer, but if you look closely, you're like, what's that shadow? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing it any justice by trying to explain it, but it is really beautiful. By the way, guys, I don't know if you can see this little red thing here. I don't know what that is. I just had a look at it close up in the mirror and it kind of looks like a tiny little red rash, which is really strange because I never really get stuff like that. And all of the products except for that Fit Me powder I've used on my face before, and it started showing up before I applied the Fit Me powder. So I don't know, it's kind of strange, but I'm just gonna keep an eye on it to see if it gets worse or if it starts to go down. But I feel like it might be showing up in camera, so in case you're wondering what it is, I don't know either. The other thing I love about this bronzer is that it builds up really nicely, so you can build it up to get like a darker effect from it, or you can just keep it light as well. Freaking hoop earrings, man. They look cute, but they are just not practical. I have a love-hate relationship with them, especially when I'm doing my makeup. So my current favorite blush is this one here by Models Prefer. You can see all of the fingerprints on it. Wow, that's cute. There we go, that looks a bit nicer. It is in the shade Celebrity Crush. I think I featured this in one of my last makeup tutorials. I just love it. I think it's a really pretty color. It's like a peachy, pinky color, and it just gives you the most perfect, natural flush to your cheeks. Models Prefer is Drugstore. You can get it in, I think it's only stocked in Priceline. I could be wrong, but I think it's like a Priceline brand, maybe. I don't know. I'll do my research and leave the links to all of the products I'm using down below anyway, so you guys will be able to find it there if you are interested. There we go, my brush kind of blends in now. Alrighty, so now I am going to try out a new drugstore highlighter. This is something that's new to me. I don't know how new it is to like the shelves or whatever, but it is the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in the shade Blossom Glow. Up until a few months ago, we couldn't get Wet n Wild here in Australia. So I just recently got my hands on a bunch of Wet n Wild products, and this is my first time trying them. So actually what I might do, I've got one other shade. I want to try both of them and see which one I like best. Be right back. I thought I got it out of my drawers before, but I obviously didn't. So this is the shade Precious Petals, and then this one here is Blossom Glow. So Precious Petals looks like it's got more of a gold reflect to it, and then this one's more of like a champagne-y color. I don't know, I have a feeling that this might be a little bit too light for my skin, but I'm gonna try both of them and see how they both look, so I'll do either side. Let's go in with Precious Petals first. Okay, that's a little bit underwhelming. Where's the glow? Give me the glow. I've just literally dipped my brush in there so hard. I'm getting a little bit, but not as much as I would like. Nothing's really coming off the brush except for like specks of glitter, almost. Like that's what it looks like. Okay, let's try the other one on the other side, but I have a feeling I'm not going to like these. They look good in the pan. That's a little bit better. It still kind of looks the same though, like it just kind of looks like little specks of glitter all over my cheekbone. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm just gonna put those away for now. Might come back to them and try them another day on like a different base to really give them a chance, you know. For now, I'm gonna go in with one of my all-time favorite drugstore highlighters. This is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow highlighter in the shade Golden Sand. This is beautiful, guys. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And again, here in Australia, you can get Model's Own from Priceline. They're a really, really affordable brand. Guys, look at my freaking brow bone. Like that's just what happened with one swipe. That's crazy. Okay, so maybe I went a little bit too overboard with that. So I'm just gonna go in with the brush that I used earlier for my Fit Me powder and just try and dull that down a little bit because I went a little bit crazy. Okay, so I just quickly jumped off camera and did my eyebrows. While I was off camera, I realized I forgot to contour my nose. So I'm gonna jump back into the L'Oreal Back to Bronze bronzer and just use that on a tapered eyeshadow brush just to contour my nose a little bit. I highlighted it but didn't contour it, which is a bit silly of me. Okay, so now I'm just going to prime my eyelids with the Model's Own eyeshadow primer upside down. There we go. This, I don't think I've used this before, maybe once, but usually when I prime my eyes, I just use a concealer. I actually find I prefer concealers, but I'm gonna give this a go just because why the hell not? That's actually done a really nice job. And I never actually know whether you're supposed to set eyeshadow primers, like proper eyeshadow primers, but I'm going to anyway, just because this feels slightly tacky. So I'm just gonna take that Fit Me powder and just a normal eyeshadow brush and just pat that on top. I just feel like eyeshadow wouldn't blend very well over the top of that eyeshadow primer if it was still tacky. All right, I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit for the eyeshadow now, just a tiny bit more so that you can see more close up what I'm doing to my eyes, because when I don't zoom in, I always get a bunch of comments saying, why didn't you zoom in? So I'm gonna do it. Hopefully that is up close and personal enough. By the way, that little rash seems to have pretty much gone, which is great. So I'm gonna try out the Wet n Wild Color Icon Nude Awakening eyeshadow palette today. This again is new to me. I have not used this before. When I got this Wet n Wild package, all of the packaging had like little stickers that kept it sealed, and they were the hardest things to freaking break off the packaging, and they all left this gooey kind of stuff on the palettes. So now all of my palettes just have, they look dirty, they look messy. I swear this is the first time I'm using it. So I'm gonna go in with this here. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I actually don't like either of the transition shades in this palette, which If you can see here, both these colors have got transition written on them. So I think for my initial transition, I'm gonna go in just with the bronzer. I feel like this is a little bit warmer than what's in the palette and will just look a little bit better as a transition color, and then I'll go back into that palette to finish off the eye look. And I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. I can't remember if I said that already, but you guys know I don't really do crazy on my eyes. I like to keep it pretty simple. This brush that I'm using as well is the Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush, and it is freaking beautiful. Alrighty, so now I think I'm gonna take this shade here, which, does it have a name? It does not. It is just called Shade 1. So I'm gonna go in with that shade, and I am gonna put that through my crease just to deepen up my transition a little bit more. But because I've set down that like warmer shade, I'm hoping this blends nicely into that. That's actually kind of nice. Just dipping back into the bronzer shade just to help blend those two together. Seems to be blending out really well, and it seems to be quite pigmented too. Like the color payoff is really good. I actually have heard really good things about Wet n Wild eyeshadows. The first time I ever heard about them was from Kathleen Lights, and I'm pretty sure she really liked them. But that was years and years and years ago. And because we could never get Wet n Wild here in Australia, it was just not something that I kept my eye out for or like looked at reviews for or anything like that. But I do remember watching Kathleen Lights using one of these eyeshadow palettes years ago, and she really liked it. Freaking love Kathleen Lights. Do any of you guys watch her? She is amazing. I feel like she's one of the very, very few down-to-earth, genuine YouTubers that are left in the US. Unfortunately, there's not many people who I could comfortably sit there and say are genuine over in LA. I know she's not in LA, but I feel like she's so cool, so down to earth. I really want to meet her one day. I'm a fangirl. I'm a Kathleen Lights fangirl for sure. I'm also snacking on these. They're so freaking good, and there's only 80 calories in one bag. Like, amazing. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take this shimmery shade here and put that all over my eyelid. I'm just gonna use my finger because, I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna get a better payoff with my finger. I always do with shimmers. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's see how we go just blending that in. Oh my god, I love that. I love wearing like coppery, goldy, browny colors because I feel like it makes my eyes look a lot more green than they usually are. I've got weird eyes. This might sound really crazy to some of you, but when I was little, I swear my eyes would change color, and my parents and like friends around me used to tell me that like depending on what I was wearing that day, my eyes would look different. So I feel like I really do get like a different effect depending on the type of eyeshadow that I do. I feel like my eyes like genuinely do kind of change color, which is weird, but also really cool at the same time. Now for my inner corner, I'm gonna take this shimmery champagne shade here. This is I think it is number 8. I don't know, I could be wrong. But anyways, I'm gonna take that and put that on my inner corner. Oh, I just got some of it in my eye. That wasn't smart. Looks pretty though. Okay, that shade is really glittery. It looks pretty, but I had a lot of glitter kind of fall onto my face when I applied that. So it's like a looser formula, I guess. Like it's a bit more crumbly, powdery, but it still looks really, really nice. All right, now I'm just gonna take this L'Oreal Infallible Gel Crayon. This is a waterproof eyeliner. It is a gel formula, and I swatched this earlier on my hands and literally had to like scrub it to get it off. So I know that it sticks. But I'm gonna use this to line the outer corner of my lash line. Did I even mention what color it was? Probably not, because I'm the worst YouTuber ever. Okay, so the color is 004 Taupe of the World. Like top of the world. Ding! Then I'm just gonna quickly go in with a little cotton bud to smudge that out a little bit, if it will let me, because I think I wasn't quick enough. All right, now for mascara, I'm going to use the new Rimmel Scandeleyes Wow Wings mascara. I am pretty sure this is new. I could be wrong, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. It is new to me, so let's give it a whirl. This wand is really cool. It makes it really easy to get into like the annoying corner lashes. This is actually really easy and it adds so much volume. Can you guys see that? I really like that. Like really, really like that. Alrighty, so I'm gonna zoom you guys back out now. Like there. Is that too much? We'll go with it. Now it is time for lips. So I'm going to line my lips with this Nude by Nature lip pencil in the shade Blush Nude. It's like a perfect nude color. By the way, I forgot to mention I have used this before. This is one of my favorite lip liners at the moment. And then for lipstick today, I'm going to use, again, one of my current favorites. This is the Maybelline Color Sensational lipstick in the shade Beige Babe. And then because we are pretty matte in the skin, apart from the highlighter that I drowned my face in, I'm gonna go in with some of the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Tiramisu. This has been a fave of mine for years now. I love the NYX lip glosses. And then to set all of that in place, I'm gonna go in with the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I actually haven't used this before, so we'll see how we go. Okay. I swear there was like one part of that spray that was coming out like a freaking shotgun and the rest of it was really fine. So that was kind of weird. There must be something wrong with the nozzle. So yeah, that is the finished product. If you guys want to know about the products that I used, I'll leave them all listed down below in the description box, and I'll leave the prices in Australia as well, because obviously like the whole point of me doing a full face of Drugstore is that it's going to be an affordable makeup look. So I'll let you guys know down below what all the prices are for everything that I used. I am kind of really happy with everything. The only thing I did not like were the Wet n Wild highlighting powders. They just did not look nice on my skin, but I'm gonna give them a second chance on top of a different base and see if that works a little bit better. So I'll keep you guys updated on those powders. But yeah, I'm really happy with everything else. So if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new. Feel free to leave me a comment. I love chatting to you guys in the comment section. I always try and reply in the first couple of days to any comments that get left. So definitely come and chat with me down there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.